91,052. That's how many dollars a minute Amazon reportedly lost in a 40-minute outage back in 2013. And sure, they survived. They've got millions of dollars to spare. But what if that had happened to you and you're effed? And I don't know if you've been watching the news lately, but relying on a single centralized service is always going to be a single point of failure. So in this video, we're talking about what to do when you can't afford for your app to go down or your data to not be there. The problem with the way storage has been done until now, centralized storage, is you're always going to have a single point of failure, data security concerns, and privacy concerns. And that's not even the worst part. The worst thing is that they, in effect, own your data, and they can revoke access to your data and your accounts at any time. Like when a bank in Vietnam shut out millions of user accounts over biometric face and fingerprint scans. Or when a bank in Canada closed the accounts of 100 peaceful protesters because they didn't like their political views. Or what happens when a large service provider decides to start scanning your personal messages with their AI to sell you better ads. These are all problems with centralized storage. And the truth is, you should own your data. But for that to happen, we need better tools. Enter Walrus, Miston Labs' decentralized storage network built on the Sui blockchain. And being built on Sui means that Walrus is fast, reliable, and cheap. Basically, if your data is on Walrus, you can trust that it's going to be there whenever you want it. That's because Walrus uses techniques like erasure encoding to ensure that your data is available, even if some storage nodes fail. And because Walrus is scalable and it's fast, it's perfect for applications like AI, decentralized finance, and many more. And that's not even getting into what I think makes Walrus truly unique. It's programmability because of its compatibility with the Move programming language. But that'll be a topic for a future video. For now, hear what the founder of Linares had to say about Walrus. Our collaboration with Walrus empowers developers to build applications that process transactions instantly, stores large data sets efficiently, and uphold the highest standards of security and transparency. That's some pretty high praise. So let's head over to the command line and see how to get started with Walrus. Okay. Now that we're on the command line, the first thing we want to do is we want to install the Sui tool. Okay. Now that that's installed, we're going to want to install Sui and Walrus. I'm using the -y command just to automate that. You can check the versions with Sui up show. Okay. Now it's time to configure the Walrus client. The easiest way to do that is with the default configuration that you can download from the website. So if we were to check that out, you can see that our default context is the testnet and other information about our client. Now we'll run the Sui client to initialize that. And the thing to note about using these tools is you can always use the help command to see what's going on. You can also use the help flag on a subcommand to see more about the subcommand, like with Walrus read here. Okay, now that that's done, let's look at our Sui client address. And for me, just for this demo, I'm going to turn off debugging. The first thing we need to do is check our balance of Sui tokens. I have some Sui tokens and some WAL tokens, but I'll show you how to get them if you didn't. You can get those by heading over to faucet.sui.io and connecting your wallet. Once you're on the faucet page, verify that you're human, request some tokens. It'll ask you to put in your wallet. Okay, back in the command line, I can use Walrus get wal to get tokens. And now if I check my balance again, you'll see that some of my tokens have been transferred over to wal. Okay, it's time to create a file and store it. I can store that file with the Walrus store command. And epochs just says how long this file should live online. I want to store this blob ID because I can use it to read the file. So for example, if I wanted to read that data and store it to another file called file2.txt, I could use the Walrus read command for that. And now if I were to check the contents of that file, we'd see it's the same as the one I recently uploaded. I just realized that this data is public. So I'm going to actually go ahead and delete this file using the same blob ID from before. Okay, that blob is deleted. So if we try to read it again, we'd see that the blob ID doesn't exist. But you have to remember that doesn't mean someone didn't already download that file, just like we have file 2 here. Now you're probably wondering if you have to use the command line use Walrus. The answer is no. You can use the TypeScript SDK, the HTTP API, Missing Labs is developing a Rust SDK, and there's quite a few community SDKs too, so you can use Walrus in any language you like. To sum this up, Walrus is a programmable, decentralized storage and data availability protocol. You can think of it like storing data in the cloud, but it's built onto a blockchain. So just like with storage providers now, you can read and write data from and to Walrus, but Walrus takes it further, letting you verify the integrity and availability of your data. So if you're already using a decentralized storage provider like IPFS, you can think about Walrus as a new and improved, faster, more reliable version of what you're already doing. And if you're not yet using decentralized storage, but you're tired of throwing money away on outages, or just having to trust that people aren't going to read your data or revoke your access to it, then you too might want to check out what Walrus has to offer. So if that's you, stay tuned to this channel. We're going to be posting a series going to go over all things Walrus, the programmable decentralized storage and data retrieval protocol. And if you don't want to wait, you're like, I need Walrus in my life right now, head over to the docs and check out our Getting Started guide. I'll link those below.